A single prompt just cost one company $11,000. One question, no bug, no hack. The system worked exactly as designed. That's the trap hiding inside Claude Fable 5, and almost nobody building with it right now sees it coming. By the end of this, I'll show you the one routing trick that cuts that bill by 90%. But first, you need to see how deep the hole goes. Here's what Anthropic actually shipped. Fable 5 runs a 1 million token context window. That's not a feature, that's an entire codebase, a year of emails, and a stack of legal contracts loaded into one conversation at once. Most models forget the start of a long chat. Fable 5 holds all of it, every detail, the whole time, and it never stops thinking. Adaptive reasoning stays permanently active. It's built for long-horizon autonomous work, the kind where you hand it a goal and walk away for hours. Sounds incredible. It is. But the way it thinks is exactly what drains your budget, and the math is brutal. Let's talk about Fanout. You send one prompt, simple. Research this market and write a report. Fable 5 doesn't just answer, it spawns sub-agents. One becomes 5. Each of those 5 spins up tool calls, web searches, database hits, code runs. Every tool call loops back through the model. Every loop burns tokens. Then comes the part that really hurts, self-verification. Fable 5 checks its own work, rereads its own output, and reruns the reasoning just to confirm it didn't slip up. So your one prompt becomes 5 agents, times 10 tool calls each, times 3 verification passes. That's not addition, that's multiplication. Picture it live. You ask for an analysis of 10 competitors. Fable 5 spins 1 agent per company. Each reads 3 sites and pulls 2 reports. Each verifies twice. You just fired off hundreds of model calls from a sentence you typed in 4 seconds. Now plug in the price. $50 per million output tokens. Every agent writing long, detailed reasoning. Suddenly that single question is printing a bill the size of a used car. And I still haven't told you about the hidden mechanism buried in the safety layer. That one's worse. Here it is. Fable 5 has a hard-coded fallback to Opus 4.8. When the system flags a query as high risk, it doesn't tell you. It silently reroutes that request to the older, heavier Opus model behind the scenes. Why does that matter? Latency. Opus 4.8 answers at a different speed. So in production, your pipeline is cruising, and then random requests just freeze for seconds at a time. And there's no switch to turn it off. It's wired into the safety layer, not the API. You can't see it, you can't log it cleanly, and you can't predict when it fires. Your monitoring shows no error. Your code looks fine. But users are staring at a spinner, and you have no idea why. So here's where most teams die. Flat routing. They build a framework where every task, big or small, gets sent straight to Fable 5. Extracting a date? Fable 5. Reading a phone number off a page? Fable 5. Clicking a button? Fable 5. You're paying premium deep reasoning prices for work a tiny model could do for a fraction of a cent. Multiply that across thousands of users, and an enterprise budget evaporates in a weekend. Now the payoff I promised. The fix. Stop treating Fable 5 like a hammer. Build a cost-aware orchestrator. A controller that looks at every task before it spends a dime and asks one question. Does this actually need deep reasoning? Extraction, formatting, simple lookups, basic tool calls. Route all of it to small, cheap, fast models. They handle the grunt work at pennies. Then isolate Fable 5. Save it for what it's actually built for. Hard reasoning, complex planning. The 1 or 2 steps where real intelligence changes the outcome. Track cost per task as it runs. Set a ceiling. If a job tries to blow past it, the orchestrator kills it before the money's gone, not after. The orchestrator becomes the brain that decides who works. Cheap models do the labor. Fable 5 does the thinking, and your bill drops through the floor. Run that same 10-competitor job through this setup. Small models scrape and extract. Fable 5 only writes the final call. Same answer. A bill that falls from hundreds of dollars down to a couple of bucks. That's the whole game. The power of Fable 5 was never the problem. Pointing it at everything was. Use the small models for muscle. Save the giant for the moments that matter. Build the router first, before you scale, not after the invoice lands. Thank you.